Hey people, welcome back to another preview on the channel. It's match day 16 in the Premier League and there are going to be some quite interesting fixtures. Let us start things off with Chelsea taking on Everton. Now, Chelsea's last 3 games have been really disappointing. They did draw their game at the weekend against Bournemouth, but you could tell that they were actually lucky to get a point in that game. And that showed, or let me say it transcended into their game midweek where they lost to Atalanta. They were goal up and then 2 goals down. Yeah, it was really that bad. And I still don't understand what Maresca is doing with him bringing on Tosin. Yes, I get that Fofana was injured and you wanted to bring him out. What you should have done is probably bring Santos on and then bring in maybe a more attack-minded defender, which is Santos, to help steady the midfield and the attack. And you just lost that game in a very bad way. But Chelsea need to be able to steady the ship a little bit. Caicedo obviously is not going to play in that game. He's still out due to the red card he got in Arsenal's game, so I think it's going to be his final match. He'll be missing out. But Cole Palmer wouldn't play midweek, is expected to return, and I think the manager is still trying to manage the whole situation with the injury. But really, the other players have to step up. I really do, and I'm sure the fans are even used to the fact that December, January, their players struggle a lot. They find it difficult to get results. But you also don't want to struggle to the point where the point gap between you and Arsenal, who are top of the table, is about 10 points or about, yeah, it keeps extending. It doesn't make any sense. So definitely you want to ensure that you pick up points against Everton. Everton, on the other hand, have struggled away from home. So it's a good advantage for you to pick up 3 points and just get back to the rhythm of what you've done from the beginning of the season, and also maintain at least the 7 points that is between you and Arsenal. Hopefully the lineup is able to do that and maybe just make sure that they win the game in the first half, probably a 2-0 win for Chelsea against Everton. And then Arsenal will be taking on Wolves. Now, Arsenal are still top of the table, however, it's just 2 points between them and Man City. But they're playing is a Wolves side that I feel like they have been really bad this season, really struggling this season. In fact, in the last 10 games, I don't think they've picked up any result whatsoever, and they're bottom of the table. So definitely is a good time for Arsenal to still remain top of the table with a win and still keep that challenge between them and probably Man City. Man City, on the other hand, they will be taking on Crystal Palace. They're traveling to play Crystal Palace, and somehow Crystal Palace is more like a nemesis for Man City. Man City just don't know how to get results against Crystal Palace. And when I look at Crystal Palace, on the other hand, they've been playing so well so far this season. I think they're number 5, just behind Chelsea. It's a lot. It's really a lot. They want to make sure that they keep the pace on Arsenal, and Man City knows that they have to get the result and get the job done against Crystal Palace. However, Olivier Glasner will make that difficult for them, I must say so. And looking at how well they played against Real Madrid midweek, picking up a 2-0 win, it just goes to show the momentum that Man City, they are really building at the moment. Their win at the weekend, the win midweek, and they want to ensure that they win, against Crystal Palace. That's the only way they can keep up the pressure against Arsenal, who has just 2 points between themselves. So definitely it's going to be a very interesting game between Arsenal and Wolves, and then Crystal Palace against Manchester City. Now, Liverpool will be playing Brighton. Liverpool, for me, I feel like Arne Slot is trying to steady the ship a little bit, them picking up the win midweek. It was a very good one for them. I think so far, the 3 games or 4 games that they've played this season, they've won, I think, 2 games and drawn 2. That draw against Leeds United at the weekend would disappoint them because they were 2 goals up in the first half, and they thought they would just keep the scoreline like that in the second half. But obviously, Leeds, who are a very, very annoying team, came out in the second half and got 2 goals back. Szoboszlai obviously getting the goal and then still drawing the game eventually. It would be disappointing for them, but at least they picked up a point. And looking at the fact that he also didn't pick up Mohamed Salah to their midweek game, is trying to say something to the other players. And the fact that he's not even playing and they're picking up results is saying a lot about Liverpool, that the coach is under pressure and is trying to ensure that they pick up results, and that is exactly what they've done. This game against Brighton is going to be a tough match for them, because I feel like Brighton is a very, very good team. Very organized, especially defensively, and Liverpool might just struggle. But he has to ensure that, and his lot has to ensure that he starts off with obviously Ekitike, start off with Szoboszlai obviously playing on the wings. And you know, a lot of people are still questioning the fact that he's still starting Gakpo, but I think he's been a good player for them. But regardless, if they are getting results, it means that something is working. So they will definitely want to ensure that they pick up results again against Brighton. But I think it's going to be really, really tough. And then Manchester United will be taking on West Ham United. I don't know. They'll be taking on Bournemouth, sorry, but I'm not sure if it's going to be an easy one for Manchester United, to be honest. Looking at how well Bournemouth played against Chelsea at the game at the weekend and they picked up a point, they want to give Manchester United a tough time. I'm not going to get carried away by the 4-1 win against Wolves on Monday. Yeah, these Wolves, everybody's beating Wolves, so definitely you expect them to. But definitely it's going to be a tough one against Bournemouth. And then the final game is Nottingham Forest against Tottenham. Now Tottenham I think they've just been going about their business a little bit, picking up back-to-back results in the Champions League and weekend. It's good, but I also think it's a good time for them because Xavi Simons is in form, scoring back-to-back for them. I think yeah, they want to make sure, especially Thomas Frank will want to keep up that momentum for them. Yeah, and they might be playing away from home at Nottingham Forest, but regardless, it looks like the match will probably end in a draw. Yeah, I think it's going to end in a draw. Before I continue with the other matches, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe. Please do subscribe. It helps the channel to grow. And yeah, please subscribe again. Subscribe. It doesn't take anything. In fact, go and do it now. Just 30 seconds, you're done, right? Anyways, guys, I'll just pick 1 or 2 games in Spanish La Liga. I think Barcelona is also supposed to play on Saturday, and they'll be taking on Osasuna. Looking at their win midweek and even at the weekend, definitely they want to keep up that momentum. Barcelona even came from a goal down to win their match midweek, so it shows that they are on a very good momentum at the moment. They should be able to beat Osasuna, but this Osasuna side, they've been very tricky this season. I must say so myself. They've been really, really tricky. So, but Hansi Flick has to be really careful about that game. And then Atletico Madrid will be playing against Valencia. Man, Valencia, you can't underrate them. Forget where they are on the table. You cannot underrate them. So definitely, Diego Simeone will want to make sure that he puts up a very good lineup. They did win their game in the Champions League midweek, so it's going to be a very good game leading into the weekend for them. And then just before I go is Real Madrid against Deportivo Alaves. I don't know what is going on with Real Madrid at the moment. It's back-to-back losses for them. The match at the weekend was really, really bad. They lost that game, I think 2-0, yeah, against Celta Vigo, and they even lost midweek in the Champions League against Man City. Yes, Man City is a better side, but that loss against Celta Vigo was really, really disappointing. And they were down to 3, I think about 9 men, because they had about 3 red cards in the game. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. And a lot of us are coming for Xabi Alonso's head. I don't know why, because it's the same person that has got them to play very well at the beginning of the season. I think they're just struggling a little bit, but the fans are not seeing it. I like the fact that the board has come out to support the coach, which is what I think should be done. But why there's a problem in the dressing room, I don't know why. The players are finding it difficult to come on board a little bit with Xabi Alonso. Vinicius Jr. is saying he wants to leave in January. Hendrick is shouting the same thing. Rodrigo is here. Yeah, the players are all over the place. And I think Xabi Alonso has to be able to manage them. He has to be able to manage them to be able to get some sort of result. And these players, sometimes they act big. They feel like they are above the manager and they don't want to listen to him. It's quite disappointing to see something like that happen. A good example is Mohamed Salah and what is happening to Liverpool. But players have to understand that they are not bigger than the club. They are not bigger than the team. If you're not willing to be a team player, leave. I'm sure there are 101 clubs out there that are willing and ready to sign you. You have to just be able to manage your emotions and manage the pressure and not just start misbehaving. So I'm hoping that Xabi Alonso is able to manage everything that is going on with the squad. But really, I feel like there's just a lot going on in Bernabeu right now and they are really struggling. Hopefully, he's able to steady the ship, as I said, and is able to get them to getting results. Mbappe also is just, I think he's struggling a little bit. I don't think he has scored in maybe in their last 2 games or something like that. Yeah, it's really bad for them right now. But those are my thoughts on the games that will be happening this weekend. There are other games in the top 5 leagues that you can follow: Bundesliga, Serie A, and it's you can just watch out for something that you think you'll be interested in. Don't forget to put on your post notification button to get our latest video when they drop. But most importantly, also follow us on all our social media handles at _officialFSH. Until I come your way and the games are played, don't forget to keep to the channel. Bye guys.